Welcome back everyone, Ronan here, and these are the highlights for the third part of the Commander Run playthrough. Now, like I said I would do, I added 2 new characters to the stream. I'm going to showcase them off, and I found actually one flaw, but it's not really a flaw, one way the Mimic Beacon is not going to work out for you. So, I've been using it quite a bit, as some of you may know. So I actually found one weakness to using it. And it's not really a weakness, but I'll show it towards the end. So here goes, the 2 new characters, based off Creator's Soul. This would be technically the mother of his new child put into the game. He wanted his kid in, then he kind of mentioned who would be the mother. So I created a mom for his child, and I guess technically his wife in the game. I don't know why I did not make her American. So that's definitely an oversight. There is Zeth Soul. This is the character that Creator wanted for his son, color blue and purple. Hope you like it. Let me know. This is what your son looks like. Technically he looks older than your main character, Creator, but you know, something we could fix if it's. And here is the biography you asked for. Following in his father's footsteps, the Soul family will live on to life and death. Alright, so I might have found an actual application for a sniper now. It turns out, if you can kill a target outright, so I end up killing this mech one shot. And I'm not sure if the rest of the enemies still don't see you. I mean, I got spotted, so the turret sees me, but the other 2 enemies that were with the mech did not actually pull, and I show this in this clip. I guess I'll show it right after I hack the turret. Now, the thing I didn't like about hacking the turret is that its aim is terrible. Sure, it's a free move, it's, you know, fairly easy to do. Depends on your hack ability. I took a chance. I had 42% chance to do it. It worked out for me. I don't like taking risks, but since I had nothing else pulled, I could have just easily killed the turret. So, it has about a 60% chance to hit. That's terrible. So unless you get a turret that's on a roof or something, I think it's pretty useless. You may as well just kill it or stun it. Although, depending on how far you are and where the rest of the enemies are, it could count as a target dummy. Actually, this is where I actually end up finding out I'm pulling the rest of the soldiers with the mech just now by moving Grandpa up. They were still just waiting out in the house. So I had some people in Overwatch because I didn't think there's actually anything there, considering that they hadn't pulled yet. So if you kill a mech outright, there are chances, or any enemy outright, there's a chance that you don't actually pull the rest of the pod. Alright, I am just glad that I am not playing on Ironman quite yet. I am done with hacking. I will not hack anything until the mission is done. The bonuses are mediocre, and the risk of making the enemy even harder is just not worth it. And here it goes to show, here I gain extra sight by 2 squares, and this is what pisses me right off. If I was on Iron Man, this would have led to a wipe. Literally, like, I was getting overwhelmed. What ended up happening is I gained 2 squares to see, enough to see the enemy. Now this makes no sense. If I see them, doesn't mean they see me. If I got a boost to my range, why would they pull? Because I have a better sight than them. It makes no sense. I'm still not in their view. I got the increased distance, not them. It makes 0 sense. And just this little thing, because I'm already engaged in combat, you'll see soon that it actually compounds and I get surrounded. It's terrible. Alright, this is another part of where I got surrounded. Now I'm pretty sure it does give me the heads up, and I just wasn't paying attention and I missed it. But there's a flare that's about to drop.
Looks like they called in some friends.
But I don't think Bradford said anything. It did show me though. At first I thought it never showed me. So this means that next turn, I wasn't expecting this. I didn't see it, and it just compounds the issue. So I was still getting pretty desperate. I didn't notice the flare still. So I tossed a flashbang so that it screws up with the Mutons. I didn't want them to throw a grenade. I didn't want them to, you know, get a good advantage on me. So I just decided flashbang would buy me some time. Now I didn't realize that a flashbang would make them total idiots. Here I had Senna just dancing with the enemy and taking huge risks. He's doing really good too. So here comes the shuttle that I did not notice. And you can see my face, it made no sense. I was like, what? I think by this point I was about 35 minutes, if not 45 minutes into the fight, and I just decided to reload it. Everything compounded to just a terrible situation. This is what you have to learn from, so that it doesn't happen in Iron Man. You have to take your time and focus. I was not focused. Okay, here's a better example for the flashbang. I managed to get a flashbang on all three. This is after I reloaded. I was better prepared. I launch it. It prevents... The flashbang prevents the enemy from using abilities. So if you have a Lancer, it prevents him from using his sword to stab you. If you have any grenade-wielding enemies, it will prevent them from using grenades. And the Archon can't use... I think it's something... Photon Pinion or something? Or Blaze Pinion? It's not going to be their turn right after this delay. And pay attention to the Mutons. I don't know what they're doing. So there was still that one guy behind me that I was trying to deal with.
I think I'm bleeding.
Bad decision to just stay on the roof there. So instead of hitting any of my guys, he goes for the transmitter. Now that pissed me off because I knew that Muton could also go for the transmitter. But instead he just runs in. Just hangs there. And then the one outside moves one. That's it. He just moves in the wide open. Doesn't do anything. I swear those flashbangs are OP now. So now I'm still trying to deal with these guys. The ones inside, I'm trying to find a sweet spot to hit them all. Or at least the two, you know, the Archon and the one inside. And I managed to find the spot. And like I said before, it's like flashbangs make Mutons total idiots. So that one just doesn't do anything. Just sits there. The Archon can't use spells, but he can come and attack somebody. Which is what he does. Luckily, he misses. So Jane lives another day. Scarlet. So this one moves up one. Moves up two. Doesn't do anything. That one just overwatches. But he's so far behind, I don't have to worry about his overwatch. Just insane. So we're finally on a different map. Everybody's moving up. Trying to set up an ambush. And I have these three right there. And I was thinking of opening with my sniper with the shot that hits everything. But I was like, wait a minute. I can still hit everything after.
Frag out.
So I threw a frag by hand, not a cannoneer. Or grenadier, sorry. I do decent damage. So far so good. Now here comes my favorite part for an opener. I actually noticed that the other two... I was debating hitting him with my weapon or Soulfire. Which is 3 to 6, well 3 to 5 with my weapon, and I think 6 guaranteed damage with Soulfire. And wow, it took me a long time to realize this. Any day now. So I didn't want to spawn anything else. I knew there's a Muton and a Sectoid
Alright, I'll go.
walking around. I just lost sight of them. I don't know which direction they went. So you're right. I shot the propane tanks. It did some extra damage. Those are better off when you're throwing an explosive. Then you do a lot more damage with your explosive. As opposed to just shooting it, you're basically wasting damage for one target.
Bestätigt. Rücke aus.
So I moved Nemesis there, hoping that it's in range. Sure enough,
Meine
no
Lanze
lance.
durchdringt alles.
Now this is how I will manage to skip getting stronger weapons before the beam weapons. That's how I'm going to skip magnetic weapons. Or how I plan on doing it anyway. Alright, we only covered 3 maps last night, which is pretty sad. But this gave me an idea. Most mechs carry 2 grenades. Now I got kind of lucky there. And they will spread after you throw or use fuse once. But if you have more than one psionic soldiers, you may be able to do it better. Now, I could move Nemesis out of the way. The way the enemy patrolled actually locked them in place. So I decided to use fuse. And you couldn't really see the third one because he's behind the main enemy. Now, fuse is not the greatest, but it's basically a free grenade. So it actually crit. So it did 5 damage on the human. Which is not bad. And it shred armor at the same time. Which is kind of where the psionic soldier is weak against robots and strong against bionics. So here also, Joey was just complaining that I should upgrade his weapon. I was like, no man, you got the best sword in the game. Why not just use your sword? That's what I plan on doing. Goes up there. Sure enough, slices the robot right in half. Alright, if the flashbang idea on the Muton hasn't gotten you convinced just yet, I managed to get a sweet spot here where I can hit the Archon and the Muton at the same time. It's kind of hard to do, as you can see I'm struggling. But I do get it, and then the Muton does nothing. It's ridiculous. Wow, that timing of me biting into a pair and the grenade launcher clicking in. Pretty epic. Alright, so now it goes to the 2 that are Flash's turn. So he tries to take a hit. That's fine. Misses, even better. I thought they were gonna start panicking. And then the Muton did nothing. Again, he's not in Overwatch, he did nothing. Just so weird. Alright, as promised, I found the first flaw, the first time the Mimic Beacon Protocol failed me. This is a first. So it's gonna take a few minutes, I guess, to go through this highlight. I'm gonna try to explain to the best of my abilities. Now, I was desperate. I put a Mimic Beacon, but I put it in high cover. I mean, why not? It's gonna get the bonus, or at least as far as I know, gets the bonus to not get hit. So I put it down there. Not a big deal, right? I mean, it's worked perfectly every other time. Here goes. Enemy's turn. Let's see what they do. So at this point, I was ready to reload. I was just testing it out, just to see, because they've been OP every time I've used them. It's okay. He goes for my soldier. Good to know. Sorry, Kevin. What else is there? The Lancer. Now, surely the Lancer would go for the... Nope. Goes on the roof. For my Archon. That's fine. You know, that's a mind-controlled target. And he actually goes for Kevin. Rest in peace, Kevin. Don't worry, I reloaded. Because I was trying to test to see if the beacon would actually work better if I moved everybody in the same spots and just moved the beacon to a more open location. So I moved the Mimic beacon, well, about 4 squares to the left. Maybe 2 squares back. So it's more in the open. Alright, there goes. Enemy's turn. Notice the Mimic beacon's more in the open. Let's see what they do. So he dies from burning. Works for me. Delay is actually pretty bad. So that Archon tries to shoot my beacon, but didn't move up. I find it weird. The Lancer actually takes a shot at Kevin, so I'm guessing he didn't see the beacon from where he was originally, and where he is now, he still doesn't see it. So my guess is they have to have a line of sight on your beacon before their first move. That is the best thing I can think about. If they can't see it from where they are originally, they will not attack the beacon. I would need a few more scenarios to be able to make that a conclusion.
Let's move already.
That is it for the highlights tonight. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate your support. It's amazing. I say it all the time, but keep coming, guys. We'll build a community and we'll make an impact on gaming in the long run. Also, on that, Dark Souls 3 actually got delayed. I'm quite happy with that because now I'll be able to play The Division, and there's the open beta coming out Friday, which is tomorrow. I'll be playing that, and it'll give me time to play maybe The Division for a few weeks before Dark Souls 3, and I think then we'll come back to XCOM and do a rotation of these games. I think depends on which one captivates me the most. And I already promised Crater that my first Dark Souls playthrough will be named after him. So if anybody else is a glutton for punishment, or you want your character named, or you want me to name the character after you for a specific run, you get to pick the weapon, you pick the gear that you would like. I'll make a character. Keep in mind, I'll be playing the game at least once or twice for normal runs to get a feel of the game for Dark Souls 3. And also, I'll have to do a Souls level 1 run. Now, gear may be more scarce for that one, but if you want to be the character that wins the Souls level 1 run, let me know, and maybe I'll pool the names of people that vote, and we'll figure something cool. Again, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Have a great night, everyone.